Hello, hello, friends. Welcome in. How are you today? Let me just open up the last little things, and then we will get started. Alright, that is there. Boop, boop, boop. And... Okay, I believe we are pretty much good to go. Boop. Alright, let's go ahead and pop on over here. Welcome in, my friends. How are you today? Lockie, welcome in. Is it Australia Day? If so, happy Australia Day. And, I hope you're doing well. And Lockie, Emmers, there we go. I was like, wait, I already said that. Emmers, welcome in, how are you? Opon, sassy. Man, yesterday was meh, today is more of the same. Why was it so meh? Error Valkyrie, welcome in, how are you? Hello, my friends. We're just gonna keep saying hello to Lockie today. How's it going? I hope your day's going well. Just work being insane? How is it insane? What's going on? Let me know. Tell me. Sorry there was no stream yesterday. I had a headache. Also, my glasses are fogging up. You guys can see. Let me give it a good old clean. I had a headache yesterday, and so I was like, I don't think... I kept on thinking that maybe I could still stream. And like kept pushing it back, and then at some point I was like, I can't. I must not. I need to just lay here. I had a slight restless night this morning. Oh, that's not fun. Is it Australia Day, Lockie? Did you do anything fun besides probably being a little tired? Or well, I guess it's just starting. So never mind, you probably haven't done anything. Woke up with half my pillows off the bed, most of my blanket off the bed, entirely confused. I've been there. Yeah, yesterday, I think the day started off pretty okay, and then right around like 9:30, 10, I started to get a little bit of a headache. And it was one of those things where I'm like, is this just going to be over and done with fast? Or is this like a thing? It did never get as bad as like a migraine, but it was like at least very irritating. So I don't know if that counts. Normally there would be a celebration at the pool, but no. Thanks, pandemic. Okay, that's fair. Well, happy Australia Day then. So we got an email telling us that we had to provide a prize for a fundraiser that is in 6 weeks. We have to pay for the prize, and they will reimburse us the cost. So I have to shell out $150 to $350 and wait for them to... What? That is lame. You should... I don't even know. I don't... Like, that is... Wow. That's super lame. What are you going to... Could you... I don't know, actually. Well, I was gonna say, could you, like, make something? And then just say that your time is worth $150. It does seem sus, 100%. It really does. That's so weird. You should sell them, put the blue badger up. And be like, this is with time and materials, $350. And then you walk away. If they try to argue with you, you just walk away. And you say, the blue badger sees all. And then why don't we have a blue badger emote? Anyway. The next week is Catholic schools. Is Catholic Schools Week, and there is a mass to kick it off on Sunday that all staff is expected to attend. No. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. Expected is different than required. It's different. I think. Sounds like they might have an expectation, but it was not agreed upon. Expected is I'm calling in sick that day. Ayo. Yeesh. Wow. That is a lot of meh. I do agree, Sassy. I see what you mean by the past couple, today and yesterday being meh. Makes sense. Quick side note. Opan, to be proud of me. So last night, I still had to do work yesterday, so I basically like laid down all day, and then a few of you guys saw me in Gizmo's stream. That's when I finally got up. Or at least from after having gotten up, then going back down. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna I think it's time. My head's feeling a little bit better. But I still had to do work, so I did a bunch of work. And, but at some point I needed a break, so I played a few Apex matches. And I ended up having one of my best, in terms of kill count. I think I beat my record. For kill count. Damage, though, was still under my record, but it's okay. I'll take it. But I think I ended with 9 kills, I think. Which I think my record has always been 8. I don't think it's ever gotten higher than that. I need to double check, but I don't think it's ever been higher than an 8. So I was like, ooh, it was with Caustic. I've already had COVID once. I got lucky that no one else in the house caught. I don't risk it again. I never leave the house. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. For sure, I think that is wise. Still drinking for the no drama. You know it, Lockheed. That's not going to change. My mom is super high risk, and I don't want her getting sick. Absolutely. I think that's understandable. And if they don't understand that, then that's their problem, I think. And then you just body slam them. That is how I have been solving my problems, and I think it's working. Thanks, Oponza. Though I will say, my recent games have been terrible. I have just been doing so bad lately. But anyway. So to have like a good game like that. And I also won one with Watson, which I needed to get a top 3 with Watson. I ended up winning. I barely did anything. But I did make some cool fences, though. Jet told me to body slam my problems. We need that on a shirt. I still need to make... Someone remind me to make a 4th favorite streamer shirt. Also, side note. For those who don't know, I should mention this, because I threw it in the Discord, but I forget to mention this in person. And by in person, I mean what we're doing right now. So, on Friday, we're going to have a Jet Wave. The Jet Wave is where I interview a creator of some kind, and it's fun, and we talk, chat, get to know them, and then we play a game afterwards. This Friday, the streamer is going to be Tank from Tank Media Games. You know him. There you go. You see, look at this little thing. I posted this in the Discord as well. But there is a Q&A, and so if you guys would like, I'd highly encourage you to go into the Discord. You'll see there's a new channel called Tank Q&A, I think, something like that. Just ask some questions, anything you want. Multiple questions if you would like. I haven't touched Watson in so long. Same. I actually had been trying. This was probably my, like, 5th, 6th attempt at trying to get top 3, and most of them we died like first, pretty much, or like one of the first teams. So I was like, this is never gonna happen. But I played some games as Caustic and was like, you know what? I've done all of my daily challenges. Let's just see if we can get it done. And I did. We finally were able to get a win. That's great. And I'm going to be working. I know. So, like, the time of the jet wave is going to be earlier than normal because the way it works is when we're doing a jet wave, if possible, I'd like to raid into their channel afterwards if they're streaming. And this will be before Tank's afternoon stream. So, it'll be 9:30 Pacific. So that's going to be early for a lot of you. But you guys can still ask a question and get it answered. And then watch the VOD, maybe. I wanted to visit the jet before going into the world of Genshin, my addiction. My friend had introduced me to the game a few months ago, and the story is amazing. I'm very invested into the characters as well. I don't mind the gacha. Nice, Slocky. I've never played. Looks pretty interesting. But good luck. Good luck. Spark of Midnight, hello. Thank you for maybe popping into the Discord, at least taking a little peek. Jet wave? Where's the evil water? Fast wave. Fast water wave. It's fun. This will be our second jet wave. The first one was Talanus back in September, so it's been a bit. It's supposed to be like a once a month type of thing. We just had a bit of a delay. Caustic is up on the tier list again. That makes sense. The reason why I got 9 kills, was in Storm Point, there's the giant hole. Locky, fist bump for Jet and the Jet Wave. Everybody who's here, welcome in. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. If you guys would like a fist bump, go ahead and punch your screen on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wha-bam. Not an ad. No, this is 100% an ad. Please be here for the jet wave. What was I gonna say? Oh, we were in Storm Point, where there's that mountain where there's the giant tunnel that goes down. Well, I hit the wall going on the way down, and so I immediately just started chucking traps down the tunnel. And so as people were landing, they were getting hit by my gas, and I think I knocked down a couple of people through that. But then I had some like fantastic like plays later. It was great. Everyone died. There were like probably, unless there were some decoys, there was maybe like 7 teams there. It was like a ton of people were landing all in that place. I like threw traps and I just ran out of that place. Anyway, sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah. Also yesterday I started working on a D&D character, so I'm gonna be in a campaign soon online on the line that you guys will be able to watch. Mr. Sputnik is DMing a D&D campaign, and I will be one of the players. I think I can say that. I think he's mentioned that before. But I've had this like character concept for a really long time, and so I already know ish what my character is gonna be like and what they're gonna do. One of the things that I'm trying to work out though is their name. And the name is just, I can't think of anything. Hold on. Just had a win where the first spot we landed, we never left? No way. That's crazy. What map were you on? Was it, it wasn't World's Edge and you were in the city, right? Because that makes sense. Thinking of character names is... It was Storm Point, no way. Okay, crazy. Where was it? Thinking of names is literally the hardest part for me. Cannot think of character names to save my life. And this one, I'm trying to like the crazy tower where everyone lands. Oh yeah, okay, I think I know which one you're talking about. Also, is this in focus? There you go. That's more in focus, I think. We fought everyone. Oh boy. That's crazy. Did you save like a replay? You should have, if not. I should have saved my caustic one, but I totally forgot. We will be playing on Friday. We will be playing Apex with Tank. We're gonna be doing duos. We'll see how it goes. After I won the one with caustic, the next lobby, the champions were all predators, and I was like, cool. This is real cool. Use a random name generator and then change. That's actually not a bad idea. Works 100% as a DM. I've actually been like, so I have gone through so many different like directions with it. Nice, good luck, have fun, don't die. I know, I need it. I should probably, well, we'll see. I was gonna say I should probably wear my Mirage shirt, but I usually like, well, I say usually, we've only had one jet wave. 100% of the time, I have worn something nicer. I've worn a button down on a jet wave, so we'll see. Well, you see, so my character, I can tell you, is going to be a ranger. So I was looking at like ranger type names. I was looking at like nature names, like things that like trees or animals, plays off of that. Then I started looking at I forget what it's called. What is this? This is a random, probably trivia fact. What is the name of like Elvish in Lord of the Rings? It has a name. It starts with an S. It's not Sylvan. It's like, anyway, I found like a Lord of the Rings Elvish translator and was like looking up words, trying to see if I could like combine them to mean something. I learned a lot about Lord of the Rings Rangers for a bit. Trying to, like, I kept thinking, but I can't figure out something that's cool. And I've decided, so as I was going through like the Lord of the Rings Elvish translator, I think I decided first name needs to be more like, well, my character's name can't both be like first last name can't be all Elvish. It's a little too fancy, I think, for my character. It needs to be maybe something more woodsy or like something. Tolkien constructed many Elvish. A Sindarin is what I was thinking of. Yeah. There's a Sindarin like translator, where you can pop in words and it'll tell you if there's like an equivalent to it. Anyway, I don't even know how to put it. Quendi? In the Tolkien universe? Interesting. I will say, so I found this kind of funny. A few of you might appreciate this. I was like, okay, so I started thinking, okay, maybe we should do something that is like outdoorsy, because it's a ranger. He's gonna be a half elf. So you could go human, you could like more human-like name. You could go for more of like a somewhat elvish name, but I kind of decided maybe we would do something maybe more relating to the outdoors. And there will be something about the character. I won't be too specific. There's going to be something about the character that is going to be vaguely wolf related. And so I was like, oh, maybe I should like include wolf in the name. And and I was like, oh man, I just made up the best name. Totally created this like nothing. Nobody has ever put this together before, and I was like, what about like something Wolfwood? Like that would be totally original. No one's ever used that. And I was like, wait, Wolfwood, does that sound like, mate, is there something? And then I realized, oh wait, I forget. In the anime Trigun, there is like considered to be probably one of the most iconic and a lot of like a big, huge fan favorite character. There's somebody with the last name Wolfwood. I was like, no! I was like, everyone's gonna think, I can't remember what his first name is, but I was like, everyone's gonna think I just took it from that. So I'm opting not for Wolfwood. Though I think that sounds cool. Beowulf. Beowulf. So I don't know. I also actually, randomly, I started looking at French words for things. I think in, French wolf is loup, right? I know it's like Loup, but I don't know how much emphasis there is on the p sound. So yeah, I'm maybe dropping the wolf bit. I kind of like the something wood. Feel like that fits. He's gonna like have lived in like a forest as a ranger, so I feel like it kind of relates to that. I was trying to see if I could like smash some other words together to like, I don't know. I will say I found a list of names that I'm honestly considering going through. I found a list of names. It was like 100 D&D character names that are normal English words, but they're just missing the first letter. And it was like, honestly, there were some great names in there. Like, Ulf. I mean, like, right? Like, kind of would work. There's, let me see if I can find it. There were some good ones. I think it was... I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. I don't remember what it was. I usually do Wordle basically the night before for everyone else, because it refreshes for me at like 11 p.m. So I do it at like 11. So I can't, to me that's 2 days ago. I just managed to figure it out. Took all 6 tries. Nice. So I have learned to do, this is what's helped me. I think I'm usually able to get it on the 4th or 5th try. Regardless. I don't think I haven't lost one, but my first word is always adieu. So it gets out most of the vowels. And then my second word is always story. Even if I got some right on the first one, my second one is always story. So now I have hit every possible vowel and most of like the main like letters. And then I start to then from there I can usually narrow it down. And I think I'm usually able to get it on like the 4th or 5th. I think maybe yesterday's or today's. I think maybe it took me, or I don't remember. Sometime in the past week, I did go all the way down to 6, but today's Wordle made me feel stupid. No, yesterday's made me feel dumb. I guess I didn't think about it. I was like, I bet a lot of people do try to beat it in as few things as possible. Is this that weird Tetris looking game everyone is posting on Facebook? Yeah. We actually did one on stream. It's Sassy, what did you say the game is like? You said it's like another game. It's not Tetris, by the way, Emmers, but yeah, it Mastermind, right? And I hadn't heard of that, so I don't know if Emmers, that makes sense. But you basically have to find a 5-letter word within 6 tries, and every attempt it marks if the letter is in the word at all, if it's in the word, or if you put the letter in the right spot. So if it's grayed out, it means that you got that letter is not in the word. If it's yellow, it means the letter is in the word, but you didn't put it in the right spot. And green means correct letter, correct spot. So if you're looking at those and you're like, what is going on? It's basically just it. And each row, when they like post it, that shows their attempts. So you can go up to 6. Top row being their first attempt, bottom row being their last. It uses colors instead of words. Oh, that's interesting. That's pretty cool. So that's what that is. It's pretty fun. I have not shared a single one of my scores on Twitter. I mostly just when I see see it on Twitter, someone's posted, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a new one. I should probably go check. And you can't. I don't think you can. You can only play. It's once a day. So that's why I think it's like. I honestly think that's part of the appeal for people. Is that it's like a kind of a daily challenge, if you will. Oh, we should be listening to, instead of just the Game Chops, we should be listening to Chocobo and Chill. There you go. Put it on repeat. There we go. Yeah, sure. I don't care. Was it... Well, actually, I can't remember what today's word is, so I... Laugh. Was it? Maybe I just don't remember at all. Yeah, I guess it was. I'm thinking... I must be thinking of today's word, then. I think today's word starts with a K. Spoilers. I always start with weary, since it deals with a lot of... Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Yeah, I know... I feel like if I were more competitive, I probably would... Like, as soon as I got the correct letters, I would try to find words that, like, only use those letters. But I'm always like... Cool, if I do adieu and story, I'm knocking out like a ton of letters, and maybe I'll learn if they're in the right place or not. There was one that I did the other day where most of the letters were like in the right spot after I did those two, and I was like, cool. Neat. This is easy. So that list that I was talking about. NPC names by just removing the first letter of common words. Here's a few of them that I was like, okay, actually not like the worst. There's Alibu, which is Malibu. Eater, short for cedar. Actually, Emmett is on here, Emmers, but it was Limit. Irvis, Raffic, Roser, Hybrid. That one's funny to me. Let's see. Oh, another one that made me laugh was Oozday. Okay, then there's Tylus, Anity, Emily, Resher. Actually, I thought that was kind of cool. Resher. Short for pressure. And by pressure, short, I mean... My word yesterday was different. Okay! Midnight. That was my word yesterday. Or is that today's word? Because I always do them at night, so I can't remember if that was like... That might be today's word. But I don't know. I don't know. It kind of. I guess it depends on where you are, maybe. But I always though. So I think it refreshes for me at around 11 p.m. So I always do mine right before bed, usually. Which is a good way to go to sleep. Oh, then, I haven't... Wait. What did I do last night? I can't remember. To be fair, I had a headache yesterday, so everything's kind of a blank. Anyway, I'll think of a name for my character, and it'll be great. And it'll be great. I just don't know what to do. It needs to be cool, but it needs to be like... I'm trying to have the name fit the character very well. I feel like it's really hard for me to do that sometimes. Because, like, this character is going to be... so he's a ranger, maybe a little bit of a loner. However, is, like... very friendly and, like, generous and... like more in the he may not be the smartest guy, but he's like, you know, he's like a nice guy. He's pretty kind. So like a mix of like rugged, but like, so like kind of a down to earth name is probably good. But then something cool. It needs to be something cool, but there's no words. I mean, that's not a terrible name. Not a bad name. I just don't know if it, like, cause he's not, I don't know. I would use that for like, if I had like a Viking type character, I think that'd be dope. That'd be pretty dope for like a Viking type character. He's like, I don't know. I just don't know. I made his character sheet yesterday. We are starting at level 1. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Started at level 1. Not gonna sneeze. I fought it back, everyone. Just by closing my eyes, I was able to stop it. We're starting at level 1, so they're gonna be gross. Can't do anything. I'm gonna be using the like more recent like alternate ranger, which like is a little bit nicer. But still, yeah. I hope we progress fast. I need to get to level 3, please. At least. But I made the character sheet. I rolled really well on a couple of my stats. We did like a special thing. We did a special thing for the stats where although most classes level 1 are trash or boring. Yes, agreed. I usually start people on at least level 2. Sometimes at level 3. Because I feel like usually I like to get into some like, I don't know. I kind of, when I tell people to have like a backstory, I kind of like the idea that they've already been on some kind of adventure before. Whereas like level 1, you're basically like an NPC. You're literally like an NPC that has just been promoted into into being controlled by a player. So I've tried to so typically when I DM, I try to bump them up a little bit. So I'm like, you got some cool things you get to do. That's kind of neat. But so we'll be starting level 1. And the way we've rolled our stats is different than I've ever done before, but it's like you roll 3 times Yeah, you roll 3 times. With different, like the first roll is with a D6, second roll is with a D8, and the third roll is with a D10. And what that does is, like, I can't remember what the values were, but I think it was 3 times. But the way it works is like, let's say, on the D10, I rolled a 10. My roll gets added to. Hold on, let me just look this up. What was it? Sputnik had to explain it to me. Let's see. Just open up the stream. We talking D&D. Pog, Deceitful Pear. Welcome in. How are you, Pear? This is actually for Mr. Sputnik's D&D thing that he's going to be doing soon. Hold on. What was this? Oh, hold on. It's not here. Where is it? Oh, heck. So spoiler. Well, okay. How did he... Okay, this was... I don't know what this is even called. So... It was a way that everybody's stats are going to equal 75. Was helping with the opinions on the overlay he's working on a few days ago. Nice, that's awesome. He like showed me a little preview and was like, "I'm working on this." And I was like, "Oh, looks dope." So I'm excited to see like the finished overlay. That's cool. So the way we did it is, so it's a way that everyone's stats are going to be 75 total. So the first stat was 15 minus whatever you rolled on your D6. Your next rolls are with a D8. And the first stat is 10 plus whatever you rolled on that D8. And then your next stat is 15 minus whatever you rolled on that D8. So like you don't roll the D8 twice, you roll it, and then that result applies to 2 different stats, but with one of them you add, with one of them you subtract. I've never heard of this before, but it's kind of cool. One of my stats is really low, one of my stats is very high. So we're gonna balance it out, I think. Hopefully. Or you're supposed to send me D&D homework. I am, now that I'm looking for homework. I've started putting together, soon, you'll get a message from me soon. I'm gonna add you, Gilmore, and Azure to a private, Discord channel. But I have to do some homework first before I give you guys homework. What was I gonna say? Oh, so we did that. So what I don't think Nick would mind me sharing this, but one of my stats is an 18, and one of my stats is a 7. So I put together my character sheet, and I think I'm pretty happy where things are at. But I'm like, man, that 7 is so low. But what I'm thinking of doing is I might adjust this. But I have thrown. I'm gonna be an archer, ranger, or at least primarily archering. My dexterity is not my highest, but it's my second highest. But I put my 7 in strength, and I'm hoping that that's okay. Luckily, so because of how things were filled out in my sheet, I'm proficient in acrobatics, or athletics, which is, I think acrobatics is dexterity, athletics is strength. So I'm proficient in athletics. So it's an even 0. But otherwise all strength rolls for me is -2, which is that's not great. But everything else is like decent. Put me in, coach. I have 17 characters collecting dust. Well, so the thing that I'm doing, we had like a fundraiser a while back. Last year was going through a lot of like financial problems, and we did like a fundraiser. And one of those things is the people who donated the highest get to be in this like one shot. So that's what it's a special thing, but might just be a Discord only thing. Maybe we'll do like a sub only stream or something for this. I don't know. Granted, I don't necessarily expect a lot of random people showing up to my D&D thing, especially for a one shot. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of pressure of streaming a D&D thing. People would be like, if I stream a D&D thing and it's like it's like super lax and kind of just like there's not like a fancy overlay or something, I feel like people are gonna be like, oh, what is this? Why aren't you even trying? Like, it's just for fun. It's not. I'm not doing this every day. I've been working on my own campaign, and so far one person has spilled water on their computer, and another person's work schedule has changed to be only available on Wednesday and Thursday. So things are going. No, man. One, spilling water on a computer, that is terrible. I do feel like trying to get schedules together. Oof, not fun. I haven't played D&D in forever. The last thing I did was DM'd. I DM'd a campaign right before the pandemic started, and now look at us. We're still in it. Strength, always the dump stat, Sag. Yeah, I was like, I feel like everything else, I almost put it in Constitution, but I thought that would be bad. That having a -2 on my health is probably not great. That was like, I'm a ranger. Hopefully I'm going to be far from the enemies, but you never know. I don't know what like what the scenario is that we're playing, so I don't like know what to expect, or like if it's going to be a lot of like, I don't know. I just don't know. People get mad at me for not knowing what is happening. And no, you're totally good, Sassy. You're totally fine. Don't worry about it. I haven't explained things well. Who spills water on their computer? Rude. Strength is just worse dex, unfortunately. Oh no, con never have negative unless you're 100% ready for those consequences. Runner, welcome in. Yeah, I was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna need strength. You see, and the thing is, I don't know anything about anyone else's characters. So I don't know if we'll have like a good balance there, or if we're going to end up just being like all range casters or something like that. That would be sad. I really like this character though. I really like this character, and I had thought about his backstory a super long time ago. I'm glad that I'm finally going to be able to like put that to use. I'm biased because my last campaign I played through, I was a barbarian with 20 constitution, so I'm used to 200 plus. Dang, that's a lot. So I'm a half-elf ranger, and I put that 18 that I got, that I rolled in charisma. And so with half elves get a +2 as a racial trait to charisma. So my charisma is starting at 20. And my like bonus to persuasion I think is +9. So every time Sassy, every time I roll a persuasion check, I get to add 9 to it. Usually, like, out of 20 is like a critical success usually, and you can go over 20. But I'm hoping that'll be... Wait, 200 HP at level 3? Yeesh! DM cries. Oh, you know what I was gonna say? Runner, this reminded me, now that you're here. I was gonna say, I think I got that... I blame my headache on 1912 Titanic mystery, by the way. The most important question, do you have a special voice for your character? Well, I'm trying to decide that. I usually have just this, like, faux British that I use, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm trying to make this character be a... Pear! Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you. I think my... So, I do this faux British, but... I mostly do that, one, when we're reading, like, visual novels on stream, or when I'm not online. I feel like knowing that there very well will maybe even be British people in Sputnik's community watching, judging me. I've decided maybe that's not the wisest to do. So, I will probably do... I've been trying to figure out how he's gonna talk. I think I'm gonna do mostly my normal voice, but maybe with a bit more of a bit more charming. Maybe I think that's gonna be the goal. Gizmo, welcome in. We're talking about D&D and my D&D character that's coming out. So I think. Because, again, his charisma is going to be very high, and so I kind of want him to be sort of, like, a bit more charming. Having played with Nick before, the goblins are all from New Jersey. Love it. I could make him a New Yorker. Hey, I'm Archer in here! That's all he says. That's all he says. Gizmo! Thank you so much for subscribing. Juliet tried her best. Could not. But Gizmo, thank you so much for subscribing. You've been subscribed for 5 months. Feels crazy. I guess yesterday I subscribed to your channel for my 5th anniversary, so it makes sense. But welcome in. One more person for the tree. Oh gosh. But I don't know, Pear, if you were here when I was mentioning that. Well, and I feel like Gizmo, you would know who this is. But yesterday I was trying to think of a name for my character, and I'm wrestling with what it should be. I've decided I want to go in the direction of it needs to be something kind of like rugged outdoorsy, but something that's like approachable and friendly. I tried. He's a half elf, and so for a bit I was looking at like elvish kind of words. Think Bear Grylls. Honestly, not too bad. Honestly, not too bad. But the deal is that Gerard that is a very good name, actually. I'm gonna write that down. Everyone can just call him Jerry for short. One of my party members is Bear Kimball. Oh gosh. Yes. Gerard. Gerard. Just Bear Grylls mixed with Rod Kimball from Rod from Hot. That's amazing. So yes, I mentioned this already, so I'll be quick with this. But I was like, so there's gonna be a thing. I'm gonna leave vague for you guys, but there's gonna be something about him. He's not a werewolf. I'll just say that now. He's not a werewolf. But there's going to be something that's going to be wolf-related, wolf-adjacent to him. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe I should add, like, wolf to his name. And so I was, like, I was playing around with different languages and, like, looking at it. And then I was like, maybe something would. And then I was like, oh, what about Wolfwood? That's such a great name. It's so original. Nobody's ever done Wolfwood before. And then, like, 5 minutes later, I was like, wait. Wolfwood. Is that something? And then I searched for it. I was like, oh, that's right. Wolfwood is like one of the main characters from Trigun, and is like considered to be one of the coolest characters from that anime, and is easily, I don't know. I was just like, yeah. I was like, dang it. Anime did it first. No, but I was like, oh, that would have been so good. So I'm still thinking like maybe still something would. Maybe drop the wolf entirely. I don't know. Anime did it first. It's true. Okay, Lou, that's French though, right? Oh, short for Lupin or Lupin, I guess. But isn't the French, isn't it L-O-U-P? Laup? Gerard Drago. Wait, isn't that? Yeah, I was gonna say, I was looking that up. I was like, Drago, I think, is wolf or something. Nicholas D. Wolfwood, that's what it is. I was like, I only know him as Wolfwood, you're right. See, I did my studies on some Elvish yesterday. I was looking at the Lord of the Rings, like, Elvish translator. P is silent. Okay, Lou. I thought about maybe doing that, or what was Italian? What was the... It wasn't, because I know Spanish is Lobo. Italian was something that sounded kind of cool. So I can't remember what it was. Wolf, Italian. Oh, Lupo. I thought that kind of liked that a little bit better. But, I don't know. I can't make things sound... I don't know. Luigi Wolf. Hi, my name is Luigi Mario. Lupigi. Luigi. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Hilarious. Whatever you do, don't ask my students. 90% of them just following the Spanish midterm. Oh no. I said that in Spanish just now. Gerard is a good name though, Pear. More like Painish. Gerard, that's not a bad name. I'll have to think about that. Ulvar. Ulf is Danish for wolf, but still feels like it's missing something. Yeah. You see, because I started looking at like. Can you imagine failing Spanish? Sweats. Can you imagine being bad at Spanish, but also being Hispanic? This guy. I'm Canadian. I just failed French instead. I didn't fail because the guy next to me during test did well. Smile. In one part, they were supposed to translate short phrases into Spanish. One kid just copied the English onto the answer line. Sometimes, look, I was a terrible test taker in school. Sometimes you just have to write something down because you feel like there's literally nothing you can do. And you say to yourself, I might as well just put something down. I might as well. At this, there's literally, I can't do worse. Maybe they were going for a trick. Like, oops, I didn't realize. And then they look at the words later and hope they can retake the test. Ulfgar. Ulfwood. Wait, I will allow. A possible wrong answer has a better chance of being right than a definite no answer. like, I just did really bad in tests. So sometimes I would just have, like, just blanks everywhere. So I know you're staring at a test, you're looking at, like, a blank space, and you're just like, something has to go here. But I can't think of what. These were things like, today is Friday. Yesterday was Wednesday, etc. Yeah, like, even in that scenario, write the only Spanish words you know. I suppose that's true. Just write something in Spanish. I was always more interested in, well, you guys know this. I was always super interested in Japanese. So anytime languages, like, came up, I was more interested in studying that than Spanish. And I didn't like speaking Spanish at home, really, so I just never, like, my Spanish is really bad. So kawaii. Today is kawaii. Yesterday was kawaii. On top of that, so many blank answers. I told them, don't leave anything blank. Write something down. Jetaku. Oh, man. Is it possible... Is it possible to have a weeb D&D character? How would that work? That's what I want. Next character, weeb. Weeb class. They need to be like just obsessed with Dragonborn. That would be kind of amazing. They need to like trying to think. I'd have an opinion if I knew what a weeb was. How would you guys define weeb? I can offer you as for some assistance this emote. Doog weeb. Milady. Italian was easy because of Spanish fluency. Same with French. That makes sense. That makes sense for sure. I think he has a shot with a Dragonborn lady. I just remembered I sent one of my players a website to help me name their elf. I could find the link. Oh, that'd be awesome. Has like prefix roots. Oh, that would be dope. To be fair, all I really remember in Spanish is clothing. Zapatos, right? Zappos is that's the shoe website, right? is it a shoe website? Wait. A nice guy weeb. Wow, I want to make this character just for them to die. Don't remember any Spanish, but to be fair, my Spanish teacher was Italian, so super heavy Italian accent. Oh man. How do I describe weeb? It's usually like somebody who, what I think of as somebody who's super into anime. Oh, sorry, Pear. I need to allow you. My bad. That's my bad. Look, permitted. You're permitted. You have a minute to repost. Ooh, oh, wait, it's on Angel Fire? Oh my gosh. Let's just open up GeoCities while we're at it. Dope. I'll look. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. I will go through this because this is dope. There's so much. I love it. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say kind of otaku-ish, but it's like somebody who's usually really big into... I feel like it's almost more anime than it is like Japanese culture necessarily. I feel like an otaku could kind of be both, right? Maybe not. Maybe that's not true. But I feel like it's usually someone who's very obsessed with like anime to, I don't know, but to what point? What is weeb? Google searches. A weeb is a derisive term that is for a non-Japanese person who is so obsessed with Japanese culture that they wish they were actually Japanese. Which would make sense, I think, if we were, well, how we were explaining, if there was a weeb character in D&D who's maybe obsessed with being a dragonborn. That would make, that would be interesting. They like, they wear, well, I guess dragonborn don't have wings. They wear like, I don't know. Oh, we need more Spanish anime? 100%. Dragonborn invented anime within the the D&D universe. Wait. Linus would be Wolfheart. Linus Tech Tips. Nice. We was just, oh yeah, Weeaboo. That's right. I totally forgot about that. Do you speak Spanish to your cat often, Sassy? Yeah, the boo part kept scaring people. Wolfie Mac Wolfface. 2 on the nose, literally. Yeah, I just don't know. Though I will say Gerard is a good, like, step in the right direction. I feel like that's a good... I could name him Gerard Butler. Wait. I put an apostrophe somewhere in there. I vote for this. I speak different languages to Athena. Amazing. Not anymore. Oh, I'm sorry, Sassy. Wolf on the nose. I'm always a fan of the surprisingly normal names for characters. That's fair. I think I was reading about somebody's character. They were like, because I was looking up, I was like, ranger names, ranger ideas, that sort of thing, and I think I came across like a Jeff or something like that. She can respond to multiple commands in Spanish or only English. Interesting. Athena's just smarter, more cultured. Carlos, the dwarf. Too fancy, shortened to Carl. Carl to be super, yeah, with a K for sure. I'm taking notes. Writing this all down now. What else did I look at? I was like, Barry Peepo G. I was trying to put some stuff together. Let me see if I'll open it up on my phone. Because the name is so important, and it's the hardest part for me. Like, I've got everything else. Like, I actually have a pretty decent backstory. Oh, I thought about, like, maybe calling him, like, maybe his last name is, like, Grey Wolf or something like that. And so I was looking at the Elvish words, or the Sindarin, is that what it's called? The Lord of the Rings Elvish? For grey, which could be myth, Mithrin, or thinned. And then in Elvish also Drog, or Garaf, G-A-R-A-F is also like a wolf word, I think. Furry. I don't know. Remember, I said looking for like a more rugged type name, maybe. Only language I know is ASL, only because my dad was deaf and barely an understanding of the English language. That's fair. I've always wanted to learn ASL. I think that'd be cool. Or ESL. ESL? No. American Sign Language, right? What is ESL? That's English as a second language. Those are ESL classes. ASL, that's right. Yeah. I can do the letters in sign language. So if I was like in an emergency, I could at least communicate something. And I know like some random other ones. But that's it. Oh, wait. Did I see the updated one? I think I saw the one with the arm, shortened arm. I think that was the last one that I saw. Where's the art channel? Oh, yes, I did. I didn't have a chance to respond to it. But yes, I did. It looks great. Looks wonderful. D&D needs CSL, Common Sign Language. Oh, that'd be great. But we also just have telepathy. That's fair. Mr. Soul Creek!
And supports his Fav Jet Boy. This guy.
Soul Creek! Thank you so much for subscribing for 6 months. That's amazing. And congrats, my friend. We were just talking about D&D right now. Just lounging, chatting about some D&D. Well, and also we just started talking about ASL. But welcome in, Mr. Soul Creek. Secret, welcome in. I took ASL in high school and college. I was originally trying to get my degree in deaf education, but switched to math. That'd be cool. I wish that is something that I wish I could learn more. I mean, I guess I could. I wish I don't really have anyone to practice with, but it'd be cool. Part of me is like, I don't like that there's a group of people that I would not really be able to like communicate with. Where's Gilmore? The CR show is great so far. Yeah, I know. I want to hear what she says. Emmer's getting some time off? What? What? But you need to work 20-hour days. The college I went to only offered 2 ASL classes, and you could only take them in the spring semester, so I didn't feel confident in language. That's fair. ASL is hard if you can't notice subtle differences in hand motions. I bet. Or movements, yeah. Yeah, for sure. That would definitely make sense. When I lived... so I lived in Austin for like a year. There's a pretty big, like... is it a university? Maybe it's just... I don't know what it is. There's a pretty... Or maybe it's just like a college or something. But there's a pretty big, like, deaf school there. And I always wanted to, like, check to see if they had some kind of, like, ASL courses as well. But I feel like that'd be super cool to learn at some point. Gizmo. Oh boy. Oh boy. I did teach my students to sign the words to "Do you hear what I hear" for our Christmas show 2 years ago. Nice. Oh, the irony. Oh no, I didn't even think about that. Oh no, sassy. I can do the letters. That's my pretty much my extent. But I should probably learn more. What were we talking about? D&D though. I will come up with a good name, and it's going to be dope. It's gonna be a good name. I'm telling myself. I'm psyching myself up because I need it. But we'll figure out that, and hopefully, like it seems like Mr. Sputnik's moving pretty quickly. With at least some of the setup stuff, already trying to figure out. I don't know if I want to prove this, but I get what you're saying, Spark. Just in case, somebody uses it poorly. But I understand. Yeah. Just in case later it's a thing. Thank you, Secret. Appreciate. Just name your character Nick to annoy Nick. Hi, my name is Nick. Nick Sputmister. That would be amazing. Nick Sputmister. He would lose it. He would. He would not let me in the campaign. He would delete my character. Oh man, that'd make me laugh, but he would get so mad. Yeah, let's not do that. I'd have it. Yeah, an unfortunate, untimely death. That is correct. Contact the other player and pick the same name spelled different. Amazing. Oh gosh, man. Well, you see, I don't know. I don't know. I know who else is in the campaign, but I don't know anything about their characters, and I assume we'll find out on the day. I don't know if we'll have like any, crosstalk. Nick and Nick. Love it. Everyone is a Nick. Or it could be a Nicole. We call her Nick for short. Nick is Knack. The Knack party whack. Love it when you attack. Oh man. Ooh, foul or fowler. Ooh, oh, Pear, look at you. That is not bad. Nick, and Nick, all work. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. Kind of like that. TBH, Fowler. I like Fowler. Wait, but does Gerard Fowler sound too much like Gerard Butler? War, welcome in. How are you? Thank you for the raid. What's all of the ha-has? 6 inches under. What is that? Warren of Lil. War, thank you so much for the raid. How are you? How was your stream? Also, a fist bump, War! Welcome in. I hope you're having a wonderful day, War and friends. If you guys would like a fist bump, go ahead and put your screen on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wabam! Supraland 2. I don't know even what that is. I think I've heard of it, but I don't know. I can't envision. War were not declared today. I'm gonna sneeze again, maybe, unless I do this. It's fine. It's away now. I stuffed it away. I had the wrong one copy. But War and friends, welcome in. Biscuits! Currently, we are talking about D&D. I have a character to name. So I'm verbally processing some different options. So far, we've decided on either Gerard Butler or something Fowler. It was a mistake. I had it copied, and I thought I copied a new one. No, I have to run for a bit. I'll be back though for sure. War, we'll see you later. Gerard's a good name. Pear. I like Gerard. Gerard. And it's like rar. Gerard. For future. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Runner. Okay, well now I hate it. No. Because it's like a wolf. Rawr. Well, I guess wolves don't roar, do they? They howl. Gerard Howler? That would be if I was a werewolf, for sure. Harold Potmaker. Jez gonna just call the guy Teeth McGee. I mean, we're getting to that point. I was grabbing dinner. Did I miss anything? Nothing. Nothing too crazy. By the way, while I remember, I'll say it again. This Friday, we're doing a Jet Wave, which is where I interview a creator and we play a game after like an interview. This Friday, it's Tank from Tank Media Games. You should go give him a follow if you don't already follow him. But we are taking Q&As. Well, just the Q's. Tank will answer them, so don't give an answer. But if you go in the Discord, you'll find a channel that says Tank Q&A. Go ask some questions in there. It'll be fun. So anyway, that is this Friday. Gotta trim the clips different for Clippy. I went back and deleted some clips earlier or last week because I went to somebody's channel and they have Clippy. And they did it twice, and both of them were just random clips that nothing happens. I was like, I am not doing myself any favors. Everyone can wave at Tank for me. Yeah. I know a lot of people will be at work, so I know a lot of people won't be able to be there, but it's okay. It'll still be fun. Because it's going to be an earlier stream than it normally is. So apologies if people aren't able to make it. There'll be a VOD. You'll be able to watch it that night, even. But it'll be fun. Our first one was Talonus back in September, and I'm glad to get this started again. But yeah, Teeth McGee. That'll probably be my character's name. GBC! Jetwave sounds like the coolest thing. Thank you. You redid your profile? I did. My about section is different now. If you guys take a sec, you can go peek at it real quick. It looks amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Preach. GBC, how are you? I was actually just talking about the Nick Nick and D. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out my character's name. My fourth favorite Twitch streamer, supposedly. Yes, that part hasn't changed. That's actually been my about section, I think, since I've started. Just about. Maybe like a month in I changed it to that or something. But I need a shirt that's gonna be the next shirt. I'm gonna remind myself. Next shirt is gonna say fourth favorite streamer. Streamers with a certain type of entertainment where context is needed, Clippy hurts. Well, the thing is the clips that play are not even some of the ones I wasn't even talking. Nothing's interesting's happening. So it's not even that it's like out of context clip. There's one where I was just talking about nothing, like not even anything interesting. I can say that. I listening to the clip, I was like, wow, whatever it is that I'm saying, there is nothing interesting about it. And I'm talking just very plainly, just sort of low, my normal cadence. And so I was like, wow, that's so uninteresting. And then the other one was, again, something random. It was something in a game, but I wasn't I don't know. My fourth favorite. I shall steal this joke. Amazing. Good. On a trip to Chicago right now with my girlfriend before she goes abroad for 6 months. Yeesh. Well, I hope you enjoyed the trip. That's right. I think you said you were in Chicago. Is that red? Call it the 4.5th favorite streamer. Wait. Where's the other part of that fraction or decimal ratio? I don't know. What I'm trying to say. Is that red 4.5th or 4.5? Yes. GVC, the answer is yes. Looks like you can scroll on the FAQ part, but it doesn't scroll. No, it's not supposed to. It's just drawn like that. The moment people hit that clip button, even if they... Yeah, I know. That happens a lot. And I went through and I noticed there were a few that it was like... when the title is like the same as how I streamed it, I realize it's probably, you know... Ooh, what about Usaurus? Usaurus. What does that mean? I kind of like it. Sounds neat. Wait, that would be username in Latin? Hilarious. That is hilarious. They gotta stop that. Just be like, here's the clip. Would you like to... Right. They need to do that. Yes, please. How to stop being tired. Oops, this isn't Google. Coffee. Sort of. Sometimes it helps. I wanted to know what your favorite color was. It's gray. You can kind of see it if you read it carefully. I just like the hostility that I put in my own FAQ section. And I wanted it to... The joke there is that it goes from being kind of hostile towards myself to then switching to something generic, such as, what is your favorite color? I find that's my humor. That's what I find funny. Mr. Shoal Creek, that's hilarious. I'm in Chicago, but I'm currently also in lockdown because COVID is rude. Fair. Headed to the Laugh Factory. Nice. I've been to Chicago once. That was when I was I will say I was a baby. I was really in like middle school, but that's still like a baby. I was practically a baby at that point. I don't remember a single bit about Chicago. Like, I know I was there. I don't remember literally doing anything. Usually I can remember most trips. Like something, like a highlight. I can't remember anything. Think it was windy. That doesn't count, though. Send more kids home again today. We had everyone back for about a week. Oh, man. That's just go on. Just do everything online right now. That's what I say. Generally digging into... No, I'm not saying it. I was a baby. I didn't know. I didn't know things. I remember people talking about Ed DeBevitz. That's about it. I didn't go to Ed DeBevitz. That's like not a place that I would go. I don't think. GBC, you getting on stage? Wow, Jet. This is why babies don't write travel reviews. But maybe they should. Maybe they should. We could start... What's that travel website? It's not Travelocity. That's for, like, plane tickets. What's that, like... It's kind of like Yelp. TripAdvisor. Kids. Yes. It could be called TripAdvisor. Because that's how babies talk. Jet Baby. The strawberry banana sauce was 1 star. No complimentary Go-Gurt. Would not recommend. Will not be staying again. Hotel? Imagine creating a D&D character that's how they talked. The entire time. Their name is Uwu. If I did that with a character, I would be removed very quickly. I know. It would be so annoying. It's my regional dialect. I'm doing a voice. I'm naming my next D&D character Uwu. Paladin. Oh, that's amazing. Rocks with a wogue. Oh, yes. Let's just make a kind of like, do you remember, so there were the Muppets, but then there was Muppet Babies? Basically like D&D babies. So it's like just your normal characters, but they just have all. I would like to wage if you woo in my campaign rocks are problem. But tempo we curse. I can't even say it. To coast. I love that. I also enjoyed Muppet Babies. D&T Babies is just Rugrats. Good point. Oh man. I would like to wage a wogue. I love it. Be right back. Writing Rugrats one shot. I was watching Dex Bonus of one of Dex Bonus's VODs, and she was talking about making a what are those types of shows called? Soap opera. Making a soap opera role-playing art, like RPG setting. It wouldn't be D&D, it'd be its own thing. And her ideas are so funny. The one thing that I think she should add, if she were to do it, is that it should be like, she had this idea that every character should have their own secret. And there should be some kind of thing about like unveiling other people's secrets. Like you should get some kind of points. I was saying, or one idea that I had for this hypothetical thing is like, I think for a soap operas are big on like reveals, right? Like a secret reveal or like a character reveal or like a bum moment. There should be like a thing where, as like a heal, like maybe you heal yourself or you revive somebody or whatever, you need to have like a shocking reveal. And that has to be like a part of a mechanic in the game. Anyway, that's an aside. I just need to say that out loud. Death saving flows. A baby's got to do what a baby's got to do. I honestly just sold it to myself. Wait, Eldritch Blast. Yes, this is amazing. Bronte Sister RPG, TTRPG. All right, gonna wander the city. GBC Prime. We will see you later. Eldritch Blast. Amazing. Don't fall in. Oh. Hilarious. What a great idea. D&D babies. Every like enemy should also be like a baby version as well. So like baby Tiamat. And some kind of like baby Dracula, vampire lord. Who drinks if a baby beholder. Baby holder. And it could be the vampire lord has blood in like a little like bottle. I was gonna portmanteau it. Amazing. How would you like to do this? I poop myself and take a nap while they changed my diaper. It kills them. It kills them. Oh man. How would you like to poo this? Amazing. Well, I wonder if there should be like, I guess, do there need to be like a couple of like, I'm thinking of in Muppet Babies, there was Nanny, who was like their only adult, basically. Well, I think it was the only one they interacted with. I think there were a couple of others though, right? I guess they all had parents. But anyway. Maybe there should be like some NPCs have to be like adults, I guess, to make sure, I don't know, that the babies are okay. How does that work? I guess it's a fantasy world. It doesn't matter. They'll be okay. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. The only adults are the... Oh, that makes sense. I'd like that. That'd be kind of funny too. Oh man. Let's sell this to Wizards of the Coast. I think this is a hit. Well, I'll think of a name for my character. That'll come up at some point, I'm sure. I'll probably have to, like, watch something. I need to look through character names and just, like, of, like, every video game I've ever played. And just start taking things. Mr. Twavois, I want uppies. They're just teenagers. They're like babysitters. And they're all going through their emo phase. They're all going through... Or they're like high school teenage archetypes. That would be kind of funny. The Wild Mother is like a goody two-shoe, kind of like... like the smart student sort of vibe. Or no, I guess it wouldn't make sense for the Wild Mother, maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Would she be known as the Wild Mother? It'd probably be like... I don't know. Fun times. Totally. Agma, trying to pay off student debt. Oh boy. I'm very excited about this character though. Looking at the character sheet. Let me pull it up real quick. Hilarious. I'll pitch D&D babies to Nick. I'll be like, look, I know you had this other campaign planned, but how about this? Have you considered this? Is this something you would want to do instead? Out of the campaign. I hate that on D&D Beyond my character is just listed as Jetpack Paul's character. Where are you? There you are. Yeah, I know that, Gizmo. But I want to replace it with a name. I haven't thought of the name. I haven't thought of the name yet. That's the problem we're having. Here, so... Oh, no, you have the TBD. That's... Oh, I should put that. That'd be better than... It's the blank... The blank thing on the test problem that we're running into. This is what currently... hold on. Let me move me this way. Do I have a thing? I don't have a thing. I guess I'm gonna have to move this way. Hold it. I don't know how clear this is. It might not be very clear. Because there's just so much writing. This is what my character looks like, or my character sheet looks like right now. Maybe I can, like... You can kind of see it bigger. I guess I could, well... That's what you guys get. So this is currently... my stats right now. Yeah, my strength we're starting at level 1. Hola, amigo. I think I ate my dinner too fast. Oh no, Sassy. So Nick is doing this thing. I was explaining it earlier. Nick's doing a thing where you roll. Hold on. What was it? You roll 3 times with a d6, a d8, and a d10. And with the d10, I rolled a 10. And so it ended up being 8 plus... one of my stats was 8 plus 10. No, wait. How did that work? Hold on. Where is it? I don't know. I would tell you what this was called if I knew what it was called. But this is like a... One of my stats is 8 plus 10, plus my result of the d10. And then one of my stats is 17 minus whatever it is that I rolled in that d10. Oh, but 4x6 rollies are so fun. I know. I know. But I had never done this before, but it's so that I think everyone's stats will be 75. So like it'll, no matter what you roll, it will be at 75, or it should be. So my strength, that looks very complicated. You see, that's the thing, is it looks like it can be, it's not as bad. Sometimes at cards we just roll D&D characters, or we did back when we were in person. Oh, that's such a great idea. That's fun. Well, in something like this, Sassy keeps it pretty organized, because then what you can do is, like, if you need to roll something, like if I need to roll a perception check to see what's around me, I think I can just do... Oh, I just do this, right? Will it roll the dice for me here? Hello? Maybe also because I'm streaming. It probably... Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's going so slow since I also have OBS open. It'll roll and it'll add everything for you. It'll do, like, all the math. You don't have to, like, do the math stuff for you. So in this case, I rolled a 3, and since my perception is +4, I got a 7 on my perception check. So instead of if you use like a paper sheet, you kind of have to keep track of everything and know what you're looking for. But there's also a Chrome extension that puts the roll immediately into other programs. Ooh, that people use for battle maps and stuff. Oh, that's so cool. Nick has put into our Discord channels, our D&D Discord channels, like a exclamation point roll whatever, and it does it for you. But yeah, right now my strength is at 7. I put my lowest stat there, so I have a -2 or -2 to all of my strength rolls. My dexterity is pretty high. That's my second highest. Constitution is just even. Intelligence at +1, wisdom at +2. And then my charisma is +5. Love me a negative stat. I know. Well, I almost thought about putting it into intelligence or wisdom, but I think my character's going to be... My character's not, like, smart. Like, super smart, but he's not... I don't think he's dumb. I think strength is going to be... You see, I kind of think I could kind of make it make sense that his character could have a negative constitution, but I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to do that. The thing is that the one thing, because I agree. I think if I didn't already have a strong idea of who I want this character to be, I would probably throw the low stat into intelligence, because I don't think he really needs it. But for who his character is, he's not dumb. He just may not be a smarty. Crippling bean addiction. Always fun for negatives. Tell us your character's flaw. I don't know if I can. I don't think I can. There's some cool stuff that Nick's doing that I'll say is... That sounds like spoiler. It is. He cares too much. That's what it is. Toe beans. He just cares too much. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can really tell you much about him so far, because I think too much of it would be too spoilery. We're trying to even figure out his name, you know? Let's get that down first, and then I can maybe tell you guys a little bit more about him. It'll be fun, though. I hope people will be able to watch it when Nick's streaming. I'll send everyone over there and be like, please watch this. It'll be fun. Am I looking at the collective 4 pages of background drama I have for my current characters? Yes. Yeah, I have some good story stuff for him. I need to probably flesh out and fill in some blanks. I'm kind of waiting to see... Nick asked us some questions, and so I'm waiting to kind of see what more information he gives, and then I'm going to fill out the rest of it. But I have some ideas. I'm trying to also fill out in my head what I imagine this guy looks like. Some fine details are fun to add as campaign goes on as ideas. Yeah, for sure. And that's true. I think leaving some space open to kind of run with it will be fun. I'm excited though. I'm really excited. Luckily, so none of my roles have negatives, which is good. The only one that is lowest is athletics. But I am proficient in athletics, so it just evens out to 0. It would have been a -2, I think. But I get a +2 for being proficient, so... I've added finer details over the few months of my campaign, like adding a certain phobia and putting a story about why in my backstory for my DM to know. Oh, interesting. I keep adding murders. Perfect. Jet, good at everything. Let's be murder hobos. Oh, man. Please don't. Yeah. We'll see. I feel like we'll see what happens. But I know, okay, languages, I chose Elvish, Giant, Gnomish, Sylvan, Undercommon. I think I knew Elvish is for being half-elf, but I chose Sylvan, because I was like, I haven't really thought much about, like, my character's parents, or, like, where he came from, so I was like, I know! Yeah, I get a lot. Because of, I'm an Outlander. Right, Outlander? Yeah, I think I'm an Outlander. Something like that. Linguist feat just incoming just cuz. I try to make likable-ish NPCs more than unlikable ones. That is fair. I think that's a good thing to do. I also try to not introduce too many NPCs that are like, haha, I gotcha. Because then they just start distrusting every person they meet. And you can't teach them to not do that. They just... That's the only... And, okay, I will say, I was considering, should I make him a human? Or should he be a half-elf? I kind of like the idea of him being a half-elf, but we'll see. Also, the DM I play for makes a lot of very current NPCs, and my stabby tendencies get the better of me. Oh, boy. I need to talk to Nick to see if I can replace... what tool I have. I want him, and actually, I don't even think this is in the game. I don't think. Because when I was looking, I was like, I don't see this as an option. I want my character to have a sewing kit. I want him to be able to sew things. I don't know what that would fall under. But I would like to see the tool that it suggested was an instrument. I want to see if I can... Oh, and I'm blocking it. I have a viol. But I want to see if I can replace it with... I think a sewing kit is in the game. For some reason, I couldn't find it when I was looking at the Weaver's tools. Maybe that's what it is. I want to see if I can swap out my viol for some, like... something that would make sense. Weaver's tools. I want to make some kind of, like... Just a sewing kit. I can sew on the go. It's nothing like crazy. I more like flavor stuff is kind of what I want to do. I kind of want, I think also, side note, I think my character is going to be a rather young half-elf. Like, young for a half-elf. How long do they live? They live a while. Weaver's tools. Okay, I want to see. I need to ask him about that. See if he minds. I feel like that's such a minor thing. I don't think he'll care, but they live a few decades longer. Okay, yeah. So I'm kind of thinking he'll be 30s. I think he's gonna be in his 30s. He'll be kind of younger. The same maturity pace. Okay. For some reason, I didn't know if they lived 180 years. Okay. That is a few decades longer. He's going to be on the more like human side of the age scale. Than like, he's been around for a really long time. So 30 is a kid, kind of, but they mature roughly the same. Yeah. Emmers, no! Emmers, thanks for hanging out with us. Lounging a bit. I hope you have a good day at work tomorrow. And we'll see you later. Thank you for hanging out, though. I appreciate. They are treated as children on the elvish side for some... Oh, I bet. That makes sense. We'll see you later, Emmers. This should be fun, though. I'm very excited to... I'm also proficient in stealth. But look at that persuasion! Look at this persuasion plus! Whew! I'm excited. I'm excited about that. We will be staying, if we're in a town, we're going to be staying for free. Or at a serious discount in most places. It's going to be wonderful. Anyway. Fun times, my friends. So you're half elf, but what's the good half of your race? Ooh, rude. To be honest, I have not thought a lot about my character's parents at all. I feel like they are gone, or dead, or just elsewhere. Maybe they're just gone. But I think they're... Like, he doesn't have much connection with them, I don't think. That's the only thought I've put into it so far. Foundling. They're in Michigan. Yes. Dead parents, easy. They're dead. I mean, honestly, I hadn't even considered them to be alive at this point. Fantasy Michigan, yes. It's like normal Michigan. It's just there's Dragonborn there also. And of course, Dragonborn weebs. Which is, of course, not Dragonborns who are weebs, but rather weebs that want to be Dragonborns. Naturally. But aren't Dragonborn kind of weebs inherently? Because wasn't it like... Isn't the origin of Dragonborn like... They wanted to be dragons, and so they were like rehatched. They were like put into eggs and then like emerged. Weren't they humans? And then they emerged as like these dragon-like people. They're basically weebs. We did establish that they invented anime. That's true. It's something like that. I remember reading about Dragonborn origins like a super long time ago. The source of Dragonborn changes literally every edition setting. That's fair. And it makes sense. I feel like that's something that I imagine is hard for them to keep track of. I think the last time I read about it, it was like, it was something about them like being hatched and rehatching or something. I don't know. And they can get confused with half dragons all the time. Yeah. Sometimes they're depicted with wings. I think, though, Dragonborn are not supposed to have wings. I bet half dragons probably do have wings, right? Or is that Red Bulls? In 5e, I think they hatched from legit dragon. Dragonborn don't have wings nor tails, technically. Oh, they don't have tails? Oh, I thought they did. That's interesting. I'm very curious what the other peeps are gonna choose. Interesting. Tieflings have tails. Yeah, I guess they do. For some reason I thought I knew about the wings, but I thought they had tails, but I've never played a Dragonborn, so I don't know. So do what you want. This one, it's a fake tail. It's just like a belt. It's just for balance purposes, but also everyone's in charge of their own world, so never. That's fair. They can just kind of make up whatever too. That's what when I did. When I was DMing, I kind of just did whatever I wanted. It's great. My world is having a dragon alignment, being about lawful chaotic rather than good evil. Ooh, interesting. Maybe because I don't like alignment much anyway, but especially don't like good evil alignment. Interesting. I haven't used alignment too much, only like kind of vaguely when making my character. Just kind of like I think I know where they would fall in this chart. I don't pay much attention anymore, but it's fun when... Yeah, I kind of just, like, think about it, but I don't really... Are we all the same person? I think so. Just talking to yourselves? It might be. I remember Gizmo yesterday said I was getting suspicious that you might be a bot, so... Welcome to the echo chamber. Also, for some reason, my frames per second is, like, terrible right now. What's going on? What's going on, OBS? Tell me what's happening. Who did this to you? Which one of us is the original? We're all decoys. Came back, had to go sneak up on Athena and dive at her and wrestle her with cuddles. She doesn't care for that at all. Uh-oh. Me, my ego demands it. Oh, man. Oldest is the OG. I would assume it's probably me. I think, yeah, you're for sure a clone, if that's the case. Ding dong, your opinion is wrong. Amazing. I need a character that has that as their slogan. As their... that's just how they... That's their catchphrase. I think my character needs a catchphrase, too. Needs to be like... I don't know. That is the slogan of every paladin. Amazing. What is going on? What? Who? OBS, who hurt you right now? Why is your FPS and average time to render frames so high? Look, I'll close the angel fire site. Is that what it is? A cleric whose phrase is ding dong, your opinion is wrong. Our JPS is lowered, I know. And I don't know why. Okay, right now FPS is fine. It just was rather high for some reason. Am I the only one who makes 3 backup characters in case I die? I have another character that I've talked about here. That would be my backup in the case something happened. But I'm really hoping nothing happens to this character. I will be very sad. It's not because I want... Yeah, for sure. 2 of my party members have like 5 to like to use them in one. Oh, that's a good idea. I really want to. I was telling everyone. I know we were laughing about the baby characters earlier. I have a child character though that I would like to use. I hope I get to use him at some point. I think that'd be fun. He'd be like. I think we decided he'd be like 12-ish. That's related to Elvish, but just they're all 12. I would play a lot of my NPCs as. Oh, that'd be cool. That means you have some good NPCs. I need to think. Things I need to consider. A voice. If I need to do anything special for a voice. 2, character's name. I made a selfish character that actually works really well with my group. Oh, man. But it is New York. But it was for a one-shot. And he's now canonically dead in the world. No! New York Jet. I said earlier I'd be like, hey, I'm ranging here. Or something, you know, because he's a ranger. Everyone in the one-shot got killed. No! I really hope that we survive this. Oh, man. What is going on? Computer Dora. I don't know if you guys are seeing, like, a lot of frame drops, but I'm seeing that here. Nothing else is open. I wanted to do this with a zombie one-shot. Make everyone expendable. Explains why our DM said, make sure you don't care too much about this character. Oh, okay. I don't like making it so they have to die, but very probable that most would. Yeah. Never gonna write their end. That's fair. I feel like that's fair. Maybe I need to get rid of, like... I mean, this is not gonna do anything. The one-shot was a string of 3, all with different characters to introduce. Oh, interesting. That's kind of cool. Maybe it's because I... Oops. Let's try that. Let's see what happens if I do this. And one of mine is now probably working with the BVEG. I recently found out, and I made him to be the perfect assassin. So not looking forward to that. Oof. I've been saying I would let chat make a D&D character on stream for months now. Oh, you should do that. But also rooting for my guy to kill everyone. Love it. Maybe that will be the Baldur's Gate stream. Oh, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. Maybe at some point. I've never played. Have you guys played Divinity? Is it any good? I have not. It's great, and that's like based in D&D, right? My favorite moments are when my barbarian would get mind controlled and I got to tag my own party while laughing evilly. Oh boy. Divinity is awesome. Fun with friends. Oh. I've never played. I think it was on sale the other day. I need to check. Also single player. That's true. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. Maybe it would give me some, if I played it, maybe it would give me some good ideas. I was actually looking at, I have not played Disco Elysium, but I watched someone's playthrough of it. And so I went through the Disco Elysium. About to start my own Final Fantasy adventure. Jet and Chat gonna lurk. Well, we'll see you later, biscuits. What was I gonna say? Oh, but I watched someone go through a playthrough of Disco Elysium, and then, so I was like, maybe I should look at some names from it. However, a lot of the names are like very French inspired, and I don't think my character is very French inspired. But I did think I will say, and maybe I'll save this for the soundtrack from Disco Elysium. If so, I agree. What was I gonna say? Oh, I love that the name of the place they're at, Revachol. I was like, oh, that's such a cool name. It's like, maybe I should name a character that. Maybe that would be a good name for a character. I thought about making my character, like, maybe that'd be his last name, but I really enjoyed watching it. I don't think I would be able to play it on stream. I think, since we're a family-friendly stream, there's no way. There's too much that you can't, like... There's, like, some games where you can, like, skirt around some of that stuff. This is, like, no, just very much... just very much no. So I was glad that I got to watch. And I loved... I watched Dex Bonus's playthrough, and she plays an idiot, and it is so fun. She called him her Disco Dum Dum. And she had, like, she basically went with the when you start off, they give you, like, the presets. There we go. I was like, what is the word for something that is like already set up for you? A preset. She chose the one that is like all strength and low intelligence. And so not only did she start that way, but she kind of like role played that way. So she would never ask anybody a question that she didn't think her character would. Himbo Elysium, honestly, kind of. She would never ask anyone a question that she didn't think her character would actually ask. So she actually kind of like, what's the phrase? Shot her own foot? Shot herself in the foot, I think. She kind of hurt herself in some ways by doing that, because I think she missed out on some information earlier on. And she didn't, like, at some point she had to kind of go back and, like, redo some things because she had not progressed enough levels to, like, to really do some things. So anyway, she kind of, it was hard towards the end, but she mostly stuck with it though. And so it was just so funny. So she would only, like, instead of going through all of the dialogue options, she would only choose the ones that she thought fit. And it ended up being, like, just hilarious. It was amazing. Luckily, that means I think if I were to ever to pick up the game, I've heard that if you go, if you build your character in different ways, the experience is very different. A lot of people said that when she was playing her himbo character, that she had experienced a lot of things that a lot of people had not, going with more of like a smart detective type route, or than the other one, which is, the other one's like more empathy based or something, or like intuition sort of. And she said she didn't want to make a custom character in the case that she was like, for my first playthrough, I kind of just want to choose one of the defaults. But anyway, it's super funny. I highly recommend, especially after you've played, if you don't want to get spoiled, watching her playthrough of it is just so funny. Because her character is such a dum-dum, but a lovable dum-dum. And I think that's important. I will say, I've heard that on the Switch, that I've heard the performance is really bad. So if you're thinking about picking it up on the Switch, I have heard, unless they fixed it, but apparently when it released, the performance was very bad. Just something to keep in mind. Well, we're 2 hours into the stream, and we have not begun. We have not begun playing at all. So I say, let's go ahead, and at least for the next little bit, let's play a little bit. Why not? I still am looking at my average time to render and all that stuff, and it seems to be a little higher than normal, and I don't really know why. Hopefully everything is fine. But let's go ahead and we're going to swap into Final Fantasy X for a little bit. Just for a wee bit. We might not stream for too much longer. Probably like another hour-ish. Something like that. Of course, we can continue chatting and the like. Okay. Boom. All right. Okay, watching my... Okay, render frames right now is looking pretty good. All right, where did we leave off? We went to Kilika. Kilika got destroyed by Sin. And what happened? We went to a temple. I think Yuna got something there, and then we came back. And now we're on a boat. We are headed to someplace. There's going to be a Blitzball tournament there, and then also, I think Yuna just needs to go there for her summoner stuff. But that's like all I remember. It's been a few days, and by a few days I mean like almost a week, I think, since we've played.
What y'all talking about? Who are you supposed to be?
Ah, I remember him. Guy from Kilika.
Huh?
You know, one of the Besaid Aurochs. Said something about winning the cup.
Oh, right. You're that idiot.
Wow.
Don't call him that.
But he is an idiot. They
Wow.
don't got what it takes to win the cup. Well, they do now that I'm here.
Yes, they will win. He used to be the star player of the Xanarkand Abes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, as if anyone lived in those ruins.
It's not ruins. There's a big city there. There is.
I got too close to Sin and...
There is a city, really.
Awkward.
Right, whatever your ladyship says.
I like this song.
What's wrong? You seemed kind of mad back there.
They were being rude, and... I do believe your Xanarkand exists. I really do, you know?
How come?
Sir Jecht used to always tell me stories. It'd be great to see your home someday. I'd love to go there.
Yeah. So, Yuna, want to come over to my place? Right.
Titus is also a bit
Sure.
of a himbo, I would
As
say.
if I had a place to show her.
I do believe your Xan...
Yeah, okay.
I do believe your
Yeah,
Xanarkand
I was
exists.
trying to talk to Kamari. He had something to say. Nope. Okay, cool. The Aurochs are the team to watch this year. They say they got a blitzer from Xanarkand on the team. Oh, come on. You actually believe that rumor? Ha, no way. I only meant it'll be fun to watch. What is this? Can I interact with this at all? No? Sad. Well, hopefully we do everyone proud and don't disappoint everybody.
Well, say something. You'll take responsibility.
Relax, he's bound to know someone in Luca.
And if not?
He could always join a blitz team. Anyhow, it's better than just leaving him in Besaid.
What? Just leaving him in Luca?
What do you want me to do?
Yuno wants to make him a guardian.
Who, me?
Oh, yeah, jeez. There's that too, eh?
And whose fault is that?
Not mine.
Bender?
It is mine, huh?
I ran back when he said that. I was downstairs making coffee and listening to stream and was like, oh yeah, Titus is a himbo too. For sure. He's kind of... Oh. What? What? What is this person doing? Hey, where are you going? Who is this? Is he just looking at Yuna? What's going on? Okay. I guess I'll... Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, yeah. We have 2 summoners and the goers on board. It is my responsibility to carry them safely to their destination. Ooh. I'll bet. A's or E's. No offense, but I'm a diehard Luca Goers fan. Good luck, pal. You're gonna need it. I will need it. I am terrible. Just terrible at blitzball. I am not looking forward to blitzball stuff. Do I, where do I go? I feel like, Titus was supposed to be just so different from like Cloud and
good luck in the tournament.
Squall. They're both kind of like brooding.
Best to
and
let him sleep.
Crow Girl, is anybody good at blitzball though? I don't know. I thought people were, but
best to let him sleep.
Yeah. I'm sorry. But I'm just real bad. I'm just very bad at it. I don't remember the first time I played really winning any. I think at some point I just gave up. Oh yeah, this place. Is there anything else? Though I think, can't you get... You can get, like, a skill or something? From winning a tournament? Towards the end, but... Okay,
I do believe you're Xan.
yeah, okay. How do I... Yuna, how do I move to the next day? It means winning the tournament. I'm okay never getting that skill. Yeah, I feel like it's not gonna happen. Yeah, I know. Some people can be so rude. I know you're talking to me. Okay. I think the Jekt shot 2 or something. Sassy, the weather guy watches hinting at what he calls a kaboom hitting this weekend. Usually 12 plus inches of snow. Yeesh, that's crazy. Just got another storm last night. Crazy. Oops. No. Oops. Sure, I accidentally... Yeah, it's fine. Wait. No sweat.
Make it up, T.
Okay. What am I...
I do believe you're Xanarkand.
Kimari, how am I supposed to... Maybe I'm supposed to go talk to Wakka and Lulu. Where did they go? They're over
Why do you think she wants to make him a guardian anyway?
Oh, I didn't know we're done.
Because he's Sir Jack's son.
All right. Wait, you sure about that? He's really Sir Jack's son.
It's hard to say, but Yuna seems to believe so.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. That's all you have to say?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got to decide for himself, yeah? Well, him and Yuna, I guess.
You're right, for once. I wonder which is best.
Our roads are just terrible, so bad. Oof. When did you guys get hit by a storm? Gizmo? I just don't want to get in trouble at work. Yeah.
Why don't you tell him he should?
Should what?
Become Yuna's guardian.
Why me?
Because Yuna can't.
Why not?
He hates his father. What he was, what he did. Do you really think she can possibly say to him, I want you to be my guardian, like your father was to mine?
And you're being oversensitive. All right, all right. I'll try talking to him after the tournament.
Be discreet.
I know. It's his decision.
Meanwhile, I'm like on the stairs, like, hello?
He doesn't like his father.
Why does this, like,
Apparently,
keep interrupting?
he told Yuna as much.
Hating your own father, huh? Sounds like a luxury to me. I don't
Unless
even
there's
remember my parents. Can't say how I feel about them.
I was 5 then, so I remember mine a little.
Damn it! Sin just takes everything away from us.
Oh, wow. Okay. We're actually done. Hello, Wakka.
Go to bed, bud. Tournament starts tomorrow morning.
Yay! Oh,
Someone's bound to recognize you when they see your moves out there, huh?
should I talk to Lulu? Hello.
I'm sorry.
Okay. You take your time. This guy still bothers me, though. Okay, let's double check. She's gonna say, I believe in you.
I do believe
Yeah.
you're Xander.
Just had to double check. Okay. The Xanarkin Dabes. I think this is the first tournament, or like the first Blitzball thing is coming up. This is where I sleep. How do I sleep? Do I need to, who else? Yeah, some people can be so rude. I know. Tell me about it.
It might not mean much, but
Thank you. He's sleeping. We already talked to you. Engine room is downstairs. Who else? Oh. There's that kid in the background.
Well, well. Trying to follow in my footsteps, are you? I usually charge for lessons, you know. That shot is done like this. You can't do it, kid. But don't worry, my boy. You're not the only one. No one else can do it. I'm the best.
Thanks, Dad. The Jack Shot Challenge. Memories of the day still haunt Titus and interfere with his concentration. Try to shake off the memories and successfully perform the Jack Shot. Press that and X at the same time. For example, when a memory appears in the upper left, press that. Similarly, okay, when it appears straight above, in the left corner, simply press X without using the direction buttons or the left stick when it appears in the center. Let's try practicing a little. Press buttons following the on-screen instructions. Now for the real thing. Show Jack what you can do.
You're out. No one else can do it. I'm the best. No one else can do it. You can't do it. You're out of your league. You're out of your league. You're out of your league. Best.
Did I do it?
Huh.
Some guys like that was my ball.
Best. Yeah, right. Huh?
Wait. Oh.
Whoa! What's that called?
Doesn't have a name. Anyone can do it if they try.
Show us one more time, yeah?
GG. They're all like, we're not getting that ball back. Oh, look at him go, though. That was pretty good. I want to see him do it again. I feel like practicing on land seems nearly impossible. Like, why would... I don't know how you would practice blitzball on land. That seems crazy. I'm going to tell Bada and Keepa all about the shot that you just did. They'll be so mad when they find out what they missed. Is that all right? It's right before a big game and all.
I knew it! I knew you were something special!
Thanks, Wakka.
That was the Jack Shot, wasn't it?
How do you know that?
Sir Jack showed it to me when I was a child. He called it the Sublimely Magnificent Jack Shot Mark III.
Stupid name, huh? You know what? There is no Mark I or Mark II, you know? My old man said the name Mark III was just something to hook the crowd. He said they'd come back every night expecting to see Mark I and Mark II. And they really did come back. I used to get so mad. Is he alive, you think?
I don't know. But Sir Jack was my father's guardian.
So he's famous here, too?
Yes. So, if anything happened to him, I should think word would get around fast.
Uh-huh.
What would you do if you found him?
Who knows? I thought he died 10 years ago. Well... I'd probably just smack him one. After everything he put Mom and me through. And because he was famous, I was always... Well, you should know, Yuna.
Hmm?
Your father's famous too. Everyone in Spira knows him, right?
Hmm.
Ain't it tough?
The way Titus is moving.
It is hard to follow in his footsteps as a summoner.
Sure.
But the honor of having a father like him surpasses all that, I think.
Well, there wasn't much to honor about my old man, that's for sure.
You shouldn't say that about your father.
I got the right.
I guess you do.
Ow!
Show me that move again.
Yo!
They just needed him to be going like,
I didn't think my old man would come to Luca. He never did like watching other people play. But I couldn't help feeling something bad was gonna happen. And these feelings of mine are usually right. Sure, I had told Wakka I'd help him win the tournament, but I wasn't sure I had it in me to play at all anymore.
In this game, I mean, so iconic for having the first voice acting in a Final Fantasy game, but some of the pacing of the words and stuff are a little weird sometimes. So it was just weird to see Titus just gesturing wildly without saying anything for a few seconds. Looked like he was searching for the right words. Uh-oh, CG! Look at it. It looks so lifelike. So real.
The opening tournament of the season. This event is sponsored by Yemen. And this year we celebrate Maester Micah's 50th year in office.
I wonder how they decided a lot of the art style for this game, because it's very specifically Final Fantasy X.
Dock number 2. All the way from Killiga, it's the Killiga Beasts. High Summoner O'Holland used to play for them, a big name to live up to. Their hometown was recently attacked by Sin, isn't that right, Jimmy?
Yes, Baba, they're gonna be pulling out all the stops to try and bring back the cup this year.
Exciting, isn't it,
Baba.
folks? Our next team.
This show is
on the
amazing.
left
I know it is Opans.
Well, well, well. If it isn't the Besaid Aurochs. They're a living, breathing, statistical impossibility. I've never seen a team this bad.
I'm gonna name my character Kilika.
That's right. In 23 years, they've never made it past the first
Why would you
round.
bring that up? So you guys were attacked by Sin. I know.
You
Why?
die-hard fans are in the audience today.
Best of luck to them and a safe journey back to Besaid.
Right, Jim? Moving right along, our next team
Jim and
is-
Bob. Baba and
Here they are,
Jimma.
folks, our very own Luca Goers. They've got power, they've got
It's very
speed,
great wavish.
They've got teamwork. They're an all-round first-class team, and they're back home in Luca.
Without a doubt, they are the favorite this year, Baba. And after the way they dominated last year, it'd take a miracle for them to lose today.
You can say that again, Jimma. Look at the crowd, folks. Look at the crowd. Looks like all of Luca has turned out to cheer the Goers on. They know, I know, and you know, folks. The Luca Goers are number 1.
Yeah, it's like this every year, yeah? Don't let it bother you.
Stop right there, goers.
Titus.
You guys are smiling now, but not for long. 'Cause this year, us Aurochs are taking the cup.
What in Yevon's name were you doing up there?
We sure stood out, though. We were on the sphere. We were. Maester Micah is here.
Already?
The number 3 dock.
What's up now?
Maester Micah has arrived. That's what.
Evil. It was an evil laugh, didn't it? It sounded like.
Micah is the leader of all the peoples of Spira. He's come all the way from Bavel. The tournament is being held to honor his 50 years as Maester.
50 years? Shouldn't he be, retired by now?
Hey, mind your mouth now.
Let's all go see him.
I just want to get more summons. That's all I want to do. I want to get more summons, and I want to summon things. Lots of casuals. Anyways, casualties. Anyway, good luck, boys. Good luck out there. Honestly, though, okay, so last Saturday, we played 1912 Titanic Mystery. And honestly, that, Opance, that sentence is basically how most of the game was written. Like, they would give you some really depressing fact about the Titanic, and then they would say, well, I guess it's much better now, and then it would just kind of move on. And I can't tell if it was an attempt at humor or just I don't even know what the other option is. But just I don't even know. It's kind of hard to explain. I should just hold conversations like that. I mean, my favorite one, I think I have it on my Switch. I don't think I have a screenshot of it on my computer yet. This is what one of the so like you would go, this is like a hidden objects game where you have to, they'll give you a list and you have to find a bunch of things that's on the screen. You go into these different areas like the like a bedroom or the smoking room or whatever, and they kind of give you like a fact about that area. We walk into the like dining room. One of the characters says, like right before you start finding items. So there's always just one person. You don't really converse with them. They just give you a fact. So he pops up and he says, on the night the ship sank, the second-class passengers could choose from a menu of baked haddock with sharp sauce, curried chicken, spring lamb, or roast turkey. At least their stomachs were happy when they went down. And that's it. And it's like, when we read that, we were like, what? What? I don't think that's, does that, what? No, I don't think that's good. I'm so confused why you would say that to me. But there were more, that's awful. Yeah, there was more. And again, I can't tell if that was an attempt at humor from them, because the first half of the game, it does not do that at all. And some of the things are very, like, some of them are just straight facts. Like, a ticket to the Titanic costs this much, which would be this much in today's dollars. No commentary added. It's just like this is pure fact. But then occasionally they would just throw these in, and so I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I get this. Like, the doctor, she says this later. She's like, all the passengers in steerage were inspected by hospital staff on Titanic. They were checked for lice and any sign of infectious diseases like tuberculosis. Little did they know that lice were the least of their worries. ... Like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. What does that mean? Like, what am I supposed to do with that information? Is that saying it didn't matter that they checked for lice and stuff? Or, I don't know. And anyway, it ended up being such a long game. Watching the VOD, you can kind of see a descent into madness, sort of, where I started getting very hungry and a little cranky, and then they kept on hitting me with these, especially towards the end of the game. And I was like, I don't understand this. What is happening? What a weird game. Maester Mika doesn't make many public appearances. He's getting too old for that. What a crazy game. I deleted the game off of my Switch once we completed it. I never want to go back. Luckily, that game was $1, so that's not, like, too bad. So if anyone's wanting a $1 game that might depress you, there you go. Man, the tournament's gonna rock. Even the big man is here to see the game. If I can catch one glimpse of Maester Micah. I'll have something to brag about back home. It's Micah, right? It's not Mika. We've sealed all access to the stadium for the time being. We're trying to control the mad rush of people who have already entered the stadium. Okay. Good luck. Thank you for doing your job. You go this way. I vaguely remember this part.
Can't see a thing.
Shh. Oh, yeah, that guy. Those look like they'd be hard to play, but it doesn't look like they're really trying. The, like, harp thing.
That's a Guado, right?
Who could it be?
Isn't that Maester Seymour?
Hello, my name is Master Seymour.
People of Spirit, I thank you for your generous welcome.
This is what I want my character's voice to be.
Rise, Maester Seymour, and all of you as well. I present to you the son of Maester Giskel Guado, who departed for the far plain a fortnight past. As some of you already know, he has been officially ordained a Maester of Yevon.
I am Seymour Guado. I am honored to receive the title of Maester. In life, my father Giskel worked to foster friendship between man and Guado. I vow to carry on his legacy and to fulfill my duties as Maester to the best of my abilities.
Staring at the characters' mouths in some of these cutscenes are just, it's not helpful.
You too. Bow your head.
It, like, really helps show its age.
Really psychs you up, yeah? All right, last meeting before the match. How so?
Save current game, yes. I think now we're about to head into the tournament. Let's see. We get to watch my really bad blitzball playing.
Where's Wakka?
Let the matchup draws.
We had to play the Gorers in the first match last year.
The year before that, and the one before that, too.
Well, we would have lost to anyone anyway.
Captain Wakka!
We're playing the Al Bhed Sykes first. If we win, we're in the finals. That's right, we got seeded. 2 wins, and we're the champions. First things first. Let's go over the basics again, boys.
Here we go. Moving. In Blitzball, there are 5 players per team in the sphere pool. The overhead map shows all players' current positions and the direction each is facing. Here, only one team is shown on the field. Titus is carrying the ball now. The ball carrier is displayed as a circled arrow. Now let's watch the players move. Look at him go. It may seem confusing at first, but it's actually quite simple. By default, player movement is set to auto, so everyone moves around the pool automatically. Use the overhead map to check the players' positions. The triangular frame inside the red circle is the opposing team's goal. Here it is. The goal is always on the left-hand side of the overhead map. Let's resume. Try to keep track of your position in relation to the goal. Now let's try moving the ball carrier manually. Press triangle. Now you've enabled manual movement. Press up, down, left, right to move the player manually. Only the ball carrier can be moved manually. All other players stay on auto. Note that it becomes harder to manage your teammates while manually controlling the carrier. This mode is recommended for veteran blitzers. Press triangle again. Now you're back to auto. Try switching between manual and auto to get a feel for both modes. In manual A mode, the direction of movement corresponds to the overhead map. Left moves the player towards the opposing team, right towards our team's goal. In addition to manual A, there is also a mode called manual B. Stick with auto movement for now. Movement modes are only applicable when you're on offense. When you're on defense, your entire team moves on auto. Use the overhead map to keep track of play, change movement. Okay. Yes. There's so much. In order to make a player perform an action, you must choose an action command. You can open the action command window by pressing square. So press square now. The game pauses while the action command window is open, so you have ample time to think about your next move. That is explained. Press, okay, dribble. There are 3 available commands: pass, shoot, and dribble. Dribble makes the player resume movement. Pass and shoot are the most important commands. In order to make a player perform an action, you must choose an action command. You can press by doing square. Press square now. The game pauses. Pass. Wait. This is okay. You want me to still select? Okay. Wait. Is this the same thing? Passing. There we go. It was the same thing. Press square. Select pass. Pass to somebody. Your pass is complete, and now Dato has the ball. Stats determine the outcome of each pass. Take a look at the number shown next to PA. That number represents Dato's passing accuracy. Okay. Let's pass the ball back to Titus with square. Titus has a 10. Okay, all of them are 10s at passing. Some people are way better at shooting than the others. An AT attack or something? Do you notice a gradual decrease in PA? The friction of the water causes the passes PA to gradually decrease. PA reaches 0, the pass becomes uncatchable. I see. Now let's watch Titus throw a bad pass. We'll set his PA to 3. Press square and pass the ball. When a pass fails, the ball becomes loose. A loose ball can be claimed by anyone. Therefore, a player with high PA can successfully throw longer passes. Likewise, a player with low PA often throws bad passes, giving the other team a chance at the ball. I don't want to go through all of this. I really don't. Okay, before we hop into the game, I need to go into the bathroom real quick. So we're going to take a quick BRB. If you need to go to the bathroom, if you need to do, whatever, you need to stand up and stretch. Now is the perfect time to do so, so we will be right back, and then we will play some blitzball, because I think that is exactly what is about to happen. So, I will BRB. See you guys in a minute. Por favor. Okay, welcome back, friends. We are back. As I walk around, I keep saying D&D names to myself, hoping that something will come to mind. I was just now trying out Gerard, but like pronounced weird, and connected with different words. Anyway, we'll figure it out.
There you are. Someone said
What a
they
weird
saw
camera
someone
that
in a
was just
cafe.
was.
Oren?
Yes, Sir Oren.
It like
Let's go
followed
find
her.
him.
It was very cinematic. Cinematic.
Hey! Hey! The game starts like real soon. You come back quick, yeah?
Hey, I'll be back.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Wakka. You're stiff, man. No, not your face. Just breathe out. Relax.
Okay.
Like this. Just breathe. Yeah.
These two.
Maybe now we can find Sir Jecht.
Huh? How?
Sir Oren was also my father's guardian. So, he might know where Sir Jecht is. Let's go now.
It didn't even occur to me to think that the Oren Yuna was talking about and the one that I knew from Xanarkand could be two different people. I don't know why, but I knew it was the same guy. I knew it was the same Oren.
Oh, this is where. Let's save. I think a lot of the reason why Titus has such a hard time with his papa is because. Oh.
Neo! Albed Sykes, right? Some Albed saved me the other day, and this girl Riku gave me food, and...
You see, I knew it, Neo.
You don't understand me, do you? Anyway. If you meet Riku, tell her thanks for me.
Titus?
Oh, and as for the first game, may the best team win.
This was good conversation. Good talk. Good talk. I was gonna say, I think part of the reason why Titus has such a bad relationship with his father is he can't handle the rejection. I said rejection. The Crusaders were in charge of guarding the stadium up until last year, but they are all busy preparing for the operation now, so this year, the citizens have taken up security posts. Once the tournament is over, the operation will commence. Better enjoy Blitzball while I still can. Okay, we already went there. What is this? The opening ceremony is about to begin. All players must wait in their locker rooms. Well, look how I listen to rules. I don't. I play by my own. Because I'm a rebel like that. How's your day been? Oh, thanks,
I'm
Neo.
sorry. Please let me through. Hey, let's Let's go.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
You're really famous.
Just wait till she becomes a pop singer, Titus. Just you wait.
I hope we don't get separated.
Yuna!
Huh? What was that?
In Xanarkin, we do this to cheer on Blitz players.
A mobile
You try it
beast?
too. Put your fingers in your mouth like this.
Like
I feel like that would be impossible to do with gloves on.
Not like that. This.
How's that even possible?
Then
This game is unbelievable.
it's not working.
Practice.
Okay.
Hey, use that if we get separated. Then I'll come running, okay? Well, guess we should just stick together then. Till you can do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Looking for... I like to keep an eye out for, whatchamacallits. Those little fancy books. What's this? Okay. Hello. Enjoy the beautiful music. Immerse yourself in the stunning visuals. So stunning. Oh, look at this little penguin-looking thing. Would you like to preserve memories of your travels on a movie sphere? What is a movie sphere? A sphere that you can record images from the past that stand out in your mind. The images are saved onto a movie sphere. It follows the same basic principles as sphere cameras or monitors, captures the moment, so to speak. However, the movie sphere differs mainly in that it records images from the past rather than the present. You'll need to use the audio-visual control panel found in the main hall. That's just... Is this just like the different... Let's see how many images you can currently record. Looks like 15. Is this... What? Is this like a... It plays the... What is this? Like, does it play the cutscenes? Very confused of what they're talking about. Also, I'm just kind of exploring. I'm not supposed to be going this way. Oh, wait. Was there a book? Secret! What do you need? Barely saw that. I think we just missed one. I do live in Alaska, Neo. We're missing a book. I think the last one I got was 5. How do I look this up? It's not so bad. You get used to the cold, pretty much. The shirt you have with the pink flowers. Yes, it is available on a hoodie. I think if you go to that, like, page, there should be, like, an other section. Like, you can put the... What else you can put, like, the prints on. Redbubble is, like, so hard to go through. Or, if you go to my user page, I think you can click on the design that you want, and then it'll show you all the options that you can put on there. For sure you can get it on a hoodie, though. Where does it show... Is that a key item? No. Where does it show... my Besaid stuff. Or Albed, not Besaid. I don't think it does. For some reason I thought it has to. Reference? No. Formation, Aeons, status, equip. I guess I mean, it's not the worst. I think you're fine. Yeah, I think you're fine by saying that. Could be worse.
Whoa. This is a pretty big town.
Luca is the
Also
second
true.
largest city in Spira.
I thought every town was little. You know, like Besaid and Kilika.
This actually doesn't look like that big of a town.
Towns don't usually get bigger than that. Because when a lot of people start to gather...
Sin? What about Luca? It's safe here?
It's not any different, but the stadium is here. The Crusaders fight to protect it with all their strength.
They protect the stadium?
Blitzball is really the only entertainment that we have. Spira's a little short on fun these days.
Whoa. Talk about pressure.
That's right.
Can't we...
Is Xanarkand like this too?
Well, there are more buildings. All tall ones. And cramped together.
Oh.
Oh.
They must be so tall. Don't you ever get dizzy? Let's go find
Titus
Sir
laugh.
Orin.
For some reason, the laughing in this game is the most fake. I got a red balloon. Bet you want one too. Well, maybe I do. I'm gonna take yours. Keeping an eye out for Besaid volumes. Look, there's a cat. Hello. I can't interact with you. I hate it when this cafe is so packed. That's where we need to go, so let's look elsewhere. Haha. 1,000 gil, you say? Okay, I'll take it. No complaints from me.
What you doing here? The tournament's about to start.
I'm looking for someone.
Well, you're looking in the wrong place. There aren't many people here.
Everyone's either at the stadium or watching the game on the Sphere. They love their blitzball.
Aren't you gonna watch?
We'd like to, but we're waiting for some couriers. They're late. Want to ditch the courier and go watch the game?
But we're still on duty. What about the mission, sir?
Yeah, what about the mission?
See what I mean? We might be a little late, but we will go watch you play.
You better be winning when we get there.
Yes, sir.
So can I go up here? No. It's a good try. Yeah, I don't know, Neo. All I know is Final Fantasy X right now. And how I'm definitely going to win at Blitzball. Okay, let's go talk to Sir Orin. Say hello to him. I don't see him.
Orin's not here.
or we're in the wrong place.
Why not talk, Kimari? Not see Yenke for 10 years. Say something. Kimari forget Yenke? Forget Biran?
Leave Kimari, Yankee. Kimari is small, Ranso. Kimari's so small, can't see Yankee and Biran's faces.
These guys.
Kimari forget Ronso friends? We taught you much at time of Hornmold. Biran taught Kimari to be strong, Ronso.
Maybe taught too much.
Take him on.
Oh, wow.
Oh! Take it outside. The tournament's starting, you hear?
End the game.
Today, on this glorious day, players from all over Spira have assembled here to participate in this great contest of bravery, skill, and strength. All of these fine teams, equally renowned, deserve to win the cup today. Such is the nature of this contest. Let us, the spectators, play our role accordingly. Let us sing to the glory of the winners and applaud equally the valor of the defeated. Contestants, may heaven be with you.
Yeah, I can tell, Neo. Yeah, I don't really know much. I mean, I don't really follow history all that well. TVH. My knowledge is very limited. So I may not have much to really contribute to this conversation. But I appreciate that you're quite knowledgeable. I'm about as knowledgeable as I am good at blitzball, which is to say, not very. That's a YouTube channel, right? I think I've heard of that. Did we make it back?
Kimari, Yuna's gone.
Uh-oh.
Where in Spira have you been?
Huh?
Yuna's been kidnapped by the Al Bhed Sykes. In exchange for her safe return, they want the Aurochs to lose.
Uh-oh.
What?
If they're only blitzball players, I doubt they'd do anything drastic. But we shouldn't take chances. Let's go get her.
We are the worst guardians?
This'll be no problem. They're telling the Aurochs to throw the game, as if they needed to. I mean, how good a team can they be?
Wakka said the same thing. He'll take care of the game. We should go get Yuna. The Al Bhed boat is in Dock 4. Let's go.
I think I used to play Rise of Nations. Like a long time ago. I think. It's kind of like, it's very, Age of Empires, right? Ish. But like, you can go to like present day, right? I should save. I feel like I Maybe I'm getting confused with another one. I think I played it once. Oh, it's you. Oh, hello. 600 gil. Ooh. Tidal spear. Is that's for... Water strike? Sure, why not? Anything else? Trying to make sure I don't miss any outbed volumes. I think I played... If there's an older Rise of Nations, I may have played it a while, even before that, I would think. But there might not be. I might be thinking of something else.
What are they? Ancient machina salvaged by the Albed. They are mostly vulnerable to lightning.
I was created in 2018? Maybe that's not what I'm thinking of then. Because it wasn't any time recently. He probably can't learn anything from that, I don't think. No, I should have done magic. Instead I did that. There you go. Roblox? I have not played Roblox. Yeah, there was... Okay, this is what I probably played. There was a Rise of Nations that came out in 2003. I think that is what I played. I think. Because then you could start from, like, early age, and then you would get to, like... You could get nukes, I think. I think, right? Or maybe I'm getting confused with another game. Yeah, that Rise of Nations. That's what I'm thinking of. So, different thing. Wait, was I just here? No. Phoenix down. I understand, yeah. Okay, so we were talking about two different things. Okay, gotcha. Oh, I see. Interesting. Thunder. Maybe I should have done that to the one that we haven't done any damage to. Maybe that would be the smarter thing to do. So I haven't played Rise of Nations in, or, is that what we just said, Rise of Nations? Yeah, in forever long. Oh, we can't go there. I just remember being kind of like Age of Empires-ish, maybe. I enjoyed Age of Mythology a lot. I don't know if you ever played that. That was fun. It's basically Age of Empires, but you had... like special powers, like god powers. You'd have to choose one, like a deity before or at the start, and then at like different points in the game. It was great. Balto! Sort of. We're sort of winning. What have you been up to?
What?
What? I accidentally cut him off. What? Misa! Welcome in. How are you? Whoops. How's it going? I think we last saw you on my birthday, maybe? I think that's what it was. A couple weeks. Wow, there's so many.
Expecting us.
This is Kimari. Thunder. One last one. Yeah, I've been good. I've been good. How have you been? Thank you, thank you. Ooh, finish your masters? No way.
Keeping the score tied with some excellent defense, folks.
How did it go? Did you have to do like a final paper or something? Like a... Oh, wait. Oh, I thought you said finished. Oh, I see. How? Okay, well, how's it going? How's it starting then? Sorry, my bad.
Still in there.
Titus, you were supposed to be in there.
Wakka's always like that.
Ouch.
Let's go.
Really fast paced? Dang. Well, we believe in you. You can do it. You can do it! Okay, I think we came from over there, but before we... Ah, okay. Oh, hello. Seems to have been put to sleep. Okay.
Let's go.
But I might just be taking the spring semester due to financial issues, so not sure if I'll be finishing. Only time will tell. That's fair. That can be rough. But just try your best and see what happens. Never know if maybe a scholarship down the road can appear or something. But I get that. That can be rough. This little guy has a little face. Ooh, a job interview? That's awesome. What special trigger command? Use crane.
Come on, move.
It's probably out of power.
I see. I hope it goes well. Oh. The crane seems to respond.
Come on, move.
It's probably out of...
Still needs more? Oh, no. It's not great. Here, let's do this. Oh, boy. Wait, what am I supposed to do? It didn't tell me! What? I don't understand. Cool. Oh, there we go. Oh, did we just beat it? Wow. Were you playing Legends Arceus? I don't know yet. I'm kind of waiting to see the rest of the reviews. But you pre-ordered for its arrival? So excited. Nice. It comes out this week, right? I think I've heard good things so far.
I hope you heard
On
them.
Friday? That's so exciting. That's so exciting. That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard good things so far, so I'm just kind of waiting to just double check before I purchase it.
There were these Al Bhed that saved my life when I first came to Spira. They took me on their ship. They even gave me food. I was kind of hoping that this was the same ship. But it's not. I wonder if they're all gone.
What happened?
Sin came up near us. I made it out okay, but I don't know what happened to their ship.
Was there anyone called Sid on that ship?
I don't know. They were all speaking that Al Bhed language.
I see.
So who's Sid?
He's my uncle, but I've never actually met him.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so that means you're Al Bhed too, Yuna?
On my mother's side, yes. Sid is my mother's brother. He became distant after my mother married. But she told me to seek him out if I ever needed help.
I think it leaked like a week ago. I think a couple people got it early. Or last week.
Don't tell Wakka about Yuna's lineage. The thing about Wakka, he never had much love for the Al Bhed.
Whoa! I gotta tell Wakka.
What? Titus?
I thought I told you not to tell Wakka.
You are the worst.
The game! Oh.
Titus is just...
Seconds left. The Aurochs are launching an all-out offensive. A long pass from Lenny. It goes through. Oh. Oh. He shoots. Goal!
Way to go, Wakka.
Unbelievable. The Aurochs win the match 3-2.
We won!
Tedious is a bit dim. He is.
We're in the finals.
He is.
Not the most graceful win. If it was Chapu, he'd still be standing.
Hey.
He does his
just
best.
A little unfair.
He tries.
Excuse me?
I know I could never take Chapu's place. You're the one who told Wakka that, right, Lulu? And I don't think Wakka would ever try to take Chapu's...
You don't want to finish that sentence.
Titus, I don't think you know what you're talking about. I think there's a long history here that you're I know you're trying. You're trying, and I appreciate that, but now's not the time. Even if his best is half a brain cell. It was like, by the way, don't tell Wakka about Yuna's lineage. I have to tell Wakka. No, Titus. We literally just said, don't say anything about this. I know I just went a super dumb way around. I just want to double check. Am I missing any primers somewhere? Any Al Bhed primers in the chat? There has to be. Ooh. A magic sphere. HP sphere. Okay, by the way, my next Final Fantasy X stream is going to be called Any Albed Primers in the Chat. Just FYI. Because that's pretty great. That's a hilarious joke. I don't know if you guys realize it, but it's hilarious. There are 2. I found 7. So I think I'm missing 6 because I think I went from 5 to 7, and so I'm like, where is? I think, but I can't figure out how to check. Like, there's not a place in the menu that I could find. It's not under like key items or anything. Oh wait, it is. It's just down here. Oh wait. No, yeah, I'm missing 1. I'm missing 6. What's funny is I checked key items, but because it wasn't there, I was like, oh, I guess it's not. I just realized I needed to scroll down. Where is 6? Do you know? I don't mind you telling me. I don't want to miss it. For some reason, I know I said I wasn't going to be a 100% completionist on this game, but for some reason, I need to collect all the Albed books. It bothers me that I went from 5 to 7. Near the save sphere. Okay. Somewhere over here? Up the stairs? Is it like back here or something? To the left. Oh, this way? And down? Ooh. I did not go over here. Ah, there it is. Yay! Thank you. Titus has achieved the rank of Albed Tipman. That is going to be my D&D name. Albed Tipman. Thank you, Sparks. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna save. I think this is where we're gonna end because I know we're gonna start the game tomorrow with or whenever. I think we'll play this tomorrow when we you named him Titus instead of Jet Jr. I did. I kept him with Titus. Though, War, you were here, right? Yeah, you were here for that. Yeah. We have your War Never. If you need to know anything, let me know. Okay, I will. There will be plenty. I'm sure there will be some things where I'm like, where is this? Better than War sometimes. That's fair. I wish I wanted to at least fit Warnev Chan, but it didn't. It wouldn't let me fit. So I was like, all right, let's just go with Warnev. I love Warnev Chan. Okay, so we're gonna stop here for today because I know we're about to hop into some blitzball here probably soon. I'm so bad at it. I'm not looking forward to it, but at least we can start with it next time and then just get it over with and just move past it. So let us, hold on, I'm gonna mute that, go over here, go back here, play some music. Blitzball, I'm so bad at it though. So I'm like, I'm just not looking forward to it. But maybe I'll do good. But again, when I first played it, I was like a child. So maybe now I'll get it a little bit better. I say, hoping to myself. I say to myself. Let's go raid Gizmo. Let's go raid Gizmo. He's playing, I think he's finishing even Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. And he was trying to I think he was getting close to ending. Or maybe he was just, I don't remember. Let's go. We'll go say hello to him. But before we do, let me give out a few thank yous really quick. Where were we? Where are we? Started with Pear. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. And Gizmo, thank you for resubscribing for 5 months. Mr. Soul Creek, thank you for resubscribing as well. War, thank you so much for the raid and for the resubscription for 16 months. That's crazy to me. Thank you everyone who also was chatting D&D today. That was fun. I will update you guys on my character progress as it goes on. We have a lot to figure out. I'll figure out a name one of these days. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. So let's go ahead and start heading over to Gizmo. So this week, fun things. Friday is going to be the Jet Wave, which if you don't know is our interview stream. I'm going to be interviewing Tank from Tank Media Games. It's going to be a little earlier. Hello. It's going to be a little bit earlier than normal. It's going to be 9:30 Pacific time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, just so that we can raid into Tank's stream right after. But it's going to be fun. If you have any questions that you would like for me to ask Tank, you can throw that in our Discord. Or if you know Tank, you can actually give it to him as well. He'll give it to me. Yeah, so there's that. And then on Saturday, Talinus and I are continuing It Takes Two. So that'll be fun. I'm excited to continue that. I had so much fun with it last Friday. And I'm just excited to continue playing it. So Saturday's going to be a good day. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have our emotes, feel free to throw in some fist bumps in the chat when we head over to Gizmos. But Beowulf, maybe. I'll think about it. Gerard's kind of it's I don't know. It's leaning on me, but maybe that's his last name. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you over Gizmos. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!